Hey folks, welcome you all to a new session. This is CA Ganesh Bharadwaj. So now in this video, we are going to see the proposed exam question paper pattern for the upcoming May 2024 exams, and I'm going to talk about the costing paper in this particular video. I will make a separate video on your FM paper as well. Now this analysis is something that I've made purely based on the mock test paper which was released by ICAI on its official website on 12th of March. So based on that, I have thoroughly analyzed the mock test paper that just got released. Now based on that, these are my observations as to how the main exam will look like. Now generally the mock test paper and the main exam will have the same question paper pattern, that is the manner of testing. However, in a particular question, in the mock test paper, they could have tested it from a different chapter. In the main exam, they can test it from a different chapter. That anyways is there, right? But the pattern as such generally will be the same in the mock test paper and in your main exam. Now, in this video, I've thoroughly analyzed and I'm going to share with you guys the question paper pattern for paper 4 costing in your upcoming May 2024 exams. Now, your entire question paper is being printed for 118 marks, and I will tell you the calculation, do not worry about it. And out of the 118 marks, you are supposed to attempt for 100 marks. So this is the writing on the wall, they are very clear. Now, this entire question paper is classified into two. Part 1, the institute as already mentioned is going to be case study based MCQs, and part 2 is going to be your descriptive questions. So in the part 1, it is going to be tested for 30 marks, fully MCQs. Each and every MCQ for a change carries 2 marks each, and I will tell you it is also not similar. All the MCQs are not similar. I will tell you the manner of testing and all that strictly based on the MTP, the mock test paper. So now 30 marks, and in this part 1, you don't have any kind of internal choices. Whatever are the questions there, or total overall you have 15 MCQs, you need to attempt every single MCQ, right? And in part 2, you have a total of 88 marks, out of which you need to attempt 70 marks. Now I will come to part 2 in a few minutes from now. First, let me explain what is there in part 1. Now, part 1 is purely your case study based MCQs, which carries 30 marks. Now, in part 1, the case study based MCQ, how they have done is, the first question will be, the first question and the second question, these two questions will be comprehensive case study based question. Sir, what do you mean by that? For example, in question number 1, they will give one big data. They will give one big data, all the facts. It's as good as a big question, a case study they will give. And based on the single case study, they have generated 5 questions, each carrying 2 marks. So there will be a single case study, and from the case studies, they will test you 5 questions, each question carrying 2 marks. Similarly, in question 2 also, a big single case study will be there. And from that case study, they are testing 5 questions, each carrying 2 marks, right? So question 1 and question 2 will be 10 mark each. So this will look like this. I have just taken your mock test paper. This is the latest mock test paper that got released on the 12th of March. Look at this. So what they have done is, this question number 1, this is the case study question number 1. One big question is there. From the single case study, they have asked you for 5 questions. Each question is carrying 2 marks each. Clear with this? Similarly, once again, in the second question, they have once again given one big question. Here in this case, one cost sheet related question is being asked. Now, from this entire case study, they are just asking you 5 questions, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Again, each of these questions carry 2 marks each, right? So now I call this, I am giving it a name. I call this as comprehensive case study question, meaning what? From a single case study, 5 questions are generated and they are asking you. right? That's how the first and the second question in your MCQ section will look like. So now out of 30 marks, 20 marks are covered by comprehensive case study questions. 2 comprehensive case study questions, 10 mark each. Now, the remaining 10 marks in MCQs, how they are testing is, they are testing you as 5 small case study based questions. One case study will have only one question. These are some practical MCQs. So question number 3 to 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 5 questions here. Each carries 2 marks, right? So now these are single case study questions. I am calling it a single case study. It's not given by the institute. I am just giving it to you so that you can understand it. You know, it's much more relatable. See how they are testing. Here, the third question, one case study is there. Out of this, they are testing, asking only one question. Similarly, the fourth question, one data is given. From that, they are asking you only one question. Like that, these questions are all independent questions. From that, only one question is being picked up. Are you clear with this? So this is how the first part, the case study based MCQs have been designed by the institute in their mock test paper. So to sum it up, 30 marks of case study based MCQs, all are case study based MCQs. Only 50 questions, each carrying 2 marks. But look at how they are being tested. Question number 1 and question number 2, comprehensive case study questions. That is single case study. From that, 5 MCQs, each carrying 2 marks will be tested. So 10 marks plus 10 marks. It's done. And then you have 5 single case study based questions. 5 into 2, 1 more 10 mark. With that, the 30 mark component is over. Clear? And remember one thing, guys. There is no choice inside this MCQ section, number 1. Number 2, this is like our leverages only, double-edged sword. Why? Single question carries 2 marks. Sir, it's good, no, sir. It's good if you get it right. If you get it wrong, you are losing out on the entire 2 mark. Entire 2 mark is lost. If you get it, you get entire 2 marks. In between, there is no step mark concept. Obviously, you guys know in an MCQ section. So be very, very, very careful when you're attempting the question. Because in my opinion, right now, gone are the days when costing paper is going to be lengthy. This is the first impression I'm getting. Costing paper will no more be lengthy. It is all going to be analytical based. Sir, how do we crack it? Only and only conceptual understanding. That is the only way forward. If you know the concepts inside out, you can answer like anything. That's how they have coined this particular mock test paper. I'm very happy with the standard of testing, and I'm sure if you have studied it conceptually, you can definitely crack, right? So 15 MCQ questions as a whole into 2 marks each, you get 30 marks. So be very, very careful when you are writing the MCQs. Take some time while solving. So don't be in a hurry, because if you're getting the wrong answer, it is going to be what? Entirely 0. If you get it right, you'll get full 2, right? So it's like both sides are there. You need to be careful here. So that's about part 1. Now, part 2 is the descriptive questions. That is basically your numerical solving, and one question they have kept it as theory. Now, in part 2, you need to attempt for how many marks? 70 marks is what you need to attempt. Very simple. In this case, what the institute has done is they have given you 6 questions in total, right? Out of this, question number 1 is compulsory. You cannot leave it in choice. And out of the remaining 5 descriptive questions, you can attempt any 4. This is how they have given. So overall, 6 descriptive questions, each carrying 14 marks are given, right? Now, question number 1 is compulsory. Out of the remaining 5, you attempt only 4. Clear? With this, you will be attempting 5 questions, each carrying 14 marks. So 5 into 14 gives you 70 marks. That is the breakup here, right? Now, the beautiful part here is question number 1. In the descriptive section, the question number 1, hats off to the standard in which institute is testing. Now, guys, whether it's good, bad, or whether it is student friendly or not, I am not talking about that. For sure, one thing is very clear. The standard in which institute has now changed its pattern, hats off. It's so good. And let me explain why. Now, what they have done during our lectures, I tend to interconnect multiple chapters and tell you if this is how this particular question comes. If you look at it from a marginal costing perspective, this question can be answered like this. If you look at it from an absorption costing perspective, it can be answered like this. Or if it can be looked at from a standard costing perspective, completely different aspect. Now that is exactly how Institute has tested the first question, and I call it as, this is a name that I'm giving, multidisciplinary numerical problem. Sir, what do you mean by that? The first question, no one can escape. No one can escape because it's a compulsory question. Look how they have drafted it. Look how they have drafted it. One single question they have asked. One single data they have given. Right? From this data, look how they have segregated. They have asked you 3 questions. Right? 5 mark, 5 mark, 4 mark. Now, in that part A, the first part of the question is being tested. Look, the facts of the question is only single fact. The same question, A, under A part, that is 1, A1 is from budgetary control area, A2 is from material cost chapter. Then the B part of the question is once again from budgetary control area, that is your functional budget. And the C part is from marginal costing chapter. Look at this. They have tested one limiting factor concept. Now these are not different questions. The question is the same. For this single data, they are testing from different perspectives. That's why I am calling it as multidisciplinary numerical problem. Sir, will the exam also be like this? Now, based on the mock test paper, I feel this is how it will be. Else, till now, as on date, Institute has never tested like this. Generally, if you see back before this May 2024 exams under the old syllabus and all, generally the first question is for about 20 marks, right? So you have 4 5-mark questions. The 4 5-mark questions, each of the 4 components are completely different questions. But look at the beauty here. They have given a single case study, and from there, they have coined 3 different questions from 3 different chapters based on the same single case study. Now that is where things are getting very more interesting, and now the only way is conceptual learning. That's why I just keep hammering on it. Now there is no other way. There is no other way. If you just do some 100 sums and go, you cannot. Only if you know the reasoning, the logics behind every single formula, every single concept that you study, only then will you be able to crack these kind of questions. And of course, I'm sure this is not something that is out of syllabus. It is all interlinked, and they have coined it beautifully. Clear with this? So this first question is a very, very good initiative in my opinion, because it is coming from a multidisciplinary based numerical problem. That is, so a single question, a single case study, from this multiple aspects of the question can come from different chapters across the subject, right? That is the beauty of this problem. Now, the remaining questions, you can attempt any 4. Now, sir, then why have you further classified it? Question number 2 to 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These 4 questions are strictly numerical problems. Each of the question carry 5 marks. Each of the question will carry 14 marks. Sir, what is the breakup for this 14 mark? It could be anything. Look at this. Look at this. It could be here. Look what they have given. 3 plus 6 plus 5. Right? So one question they have given it as 3 plus 6 plus 5. Another question, see how they have given. They have given it as 4 plus 10. Right? That is also 14. 4 plus 10. Now one more question, see how they have given it. This is going to be 10 plus 4. This is another question, 10 plus 4. And here the 5th question, you've got about, 6 plus 8. Look at this, 6 plus 8. Overall, it totals up to 14 marks. All these questions, the breakup can be in any manner. Back then, earlier, up to November 2023, every question carried 20 marks, and generally it was 10 plus 10, or max it will be 10 plus 5 plus 5. Maximum, this is all it was. But now what they have done, they are saying 14 marks will be per question, right? And every question can be in any kind of breakup, no questions asked. That is, you cannot question back saying, sir, this is how it will be. Clear with this, right? That is how they have coined it. So these 4 questions, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 4 are strictly numerical problems. And the last question, question number 6, that question is also a 14-mark question only. This question is also a 14-mark question, but it's purely a theory question. But here, what is the advantage is, the breakup is as follows. They have 3 parts. Part 1 is going to be a 5-mark theory. Part 2 is going to be a 5-mark theory. Part 3 is going to be a 4-mark theory, where in the part 3 you have 2 choices, right? So you can either attempt the first one or the second one. See, this is how they have given. Look at this. Question number 6, the last question of theory. So they have given A, B. In C part, which carries 4 marks, they have given a choice, internal choice. So technically speaking, this question number 6 alone comes for 18 marks. If you are attempting theory, there is an internal choice, right? Out of this, you need to write for 14 marks. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this? That's why I said overall, it's going to be 88 marks in total, because you have 14 marks. You have 14 marks into 5 questions, the first 5 questions, which is 70 marks, plus the last theory question will alone be for 14 plus 1 option is also there. So that's going to be 18 marks. So overall, it's going to be 88 marks, right? So out of this 88 marks, you need to write for how much? You need to write for 70 marks. So the advantage, if you attempt a theory question, the advantage is you have an internal choice. That's all it is. Are you clear with this? So this is how Institute is now coined the mock test paper, and which I feel is going to be the exam paper pattern for your upcoming May 2024 costing exam. So the key takeaway is, I was blown away with 2 things. Number 1, the fact that every MCQ is now carrying 2 marks, and the first 2 MCQs, the first 2 case study based MCQs are comprehensive case study based MCQ. This was one thing that really blew my mind. And the second one was regarding the multidisciplinary numerical problem, which is there in the descriptive part of part 2. In part 2, descriptive part, the first question that to made as compulsory, a single case study asked from multiple chapters, different angles. That was also a very good initiative. Now guys, there is nothing to fear about this. There is nothing to fear about this. What I would suggest is, please solve the mock test paper. One mock test paper, I would suggest solve the Institute mock test paper itself. Institute releases 2 series of mock tests for every attempt. Series 1 is already being issued, right? You solve that once. Only then you will get an idea. The RTPs and NTPs, please solve it, right? Because right now, there is a completely different shift in the way in which Institute has come up with the manner of testing. This is why I keep telling in the lectures also, in the regular lectures, I keep telling you, if you learn the subject conceptually, Institute can test the paper in any which manner, you will be able to attempt it, right? So we should not prepare. When you're preparing, that is when you're learning the subject for the first time, don't do the preparation based on the manner of testing. The manner of testing should only come when you're revising the subject. For you to revise, first you should know the subject conceptually. That's why if you learn it conceptually, there is no way you can miss out on even a single question. That's why I keep telling you, clear with this guys. So it is entirely purely concept driven, and for God's sake, please do not mug up anything. Sir, I have only 1.5 months left, 1 month left, whatever it is. Now today they have also informed that the exams are not going to get postponed and all of that. Do not worry about it. Please do not worry about it. Whatever time you have got is the maximum time that you have got, and that is the best maximum time that you have got. As simple as that, right? That is 100% sufficient. From the very next second onwards, start working towards your goal. Clear? Because whatever time you have, only the same time all of the students will be having, right? And among the student fraternity only, some people will pass, some people will get a rank and all. So no excuses. You can definitely do it. Have that mind frame, right? And as I keep saying, work hard in silence. Let your success make all the noise, right? So now I will come up with one more video where I'll be talking specifically about the exam paper pattern for FM. I will analyze it in depth, and I will let you know the exam paper pattern that is going to be coming up for your May 2024 exam in your paper 6A FM. By the way, guys, whatever I have written here, the annotation, I will anyways provide it as a PDF copy. and I will append it in the link in the description so you can directly download it. You need not take the efforts in writing down, but a very good initiative at the end of the day. And I urge you all to start preparing for the subjects conceptually. Sir, how do I do it? Simple. Start working on the mock test paper and the RTP. This is the best ever mock test paper I've seen in the institute of in the history of the institute's mock test paper series, because they have completely changed the style of testing, and it's absolutely a class apart. I urge you all to please start solving it. Have a timer and solve it. Right. So on that note, I'm signing off in this video. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all so much. Bye bye.